Well, up and at 'em, everybody. Hank and Big Ben with you, and thank you for joining us as we welcome Nancy Cahalen from the Better Business Bureau here to join us, President and CEO of the Better Business Bureau serving Central Mass. Nancy, good morning.
Good morning to you, too. I hated to interrupt you guys.
Yeah, I mean, obviously people are passionate these days for sure. But as we talked about last week, people are using, unfortunately, some nefarious individuals using some of our passion against us, using the election. And You saw it in the paper, but I saw it in the paper as well about this scam that is out there that's a little scary to gain access to resident homes. And we've got to, this really is a warning that is going out there, not only by the Better Business Bureau, but by the Worcester Police as well.
Absolutely. It is pretty scary. And we've seen a number of different types of utility imposter scams. This one is particularly scary because they dress like utility workers and they talk themselves into your home for some reason, either to look at the meter or something. And while they're in there, somebody distracts you when the other person goes and robs your valuables. So, that is really scary. And so people really need to be on their guard. But there are other ways utility imposters can scam us as well.
Yeah, tell us a little bit about that.
Well, what do they want? They want your money or they want your information. So they will threaten to cut off your service if you don't pay. They say you pay a back balance if you don't pay immediately. And so they'll usually ask you for a prepaid debit card or a wire transfer or something along that line because they don't want you to be able to get the money back once you figure out it's a scam. So this should be a big red flag because your utility company is not going to ask for iTunes gift cards or for you to wire them the money. That's just not how it works. They can also claim that maybe your electric meter or some other equipment is not working properly and it must be replaced immediately at your expense. And again, they're going to be asking for some kind of payment, and it will be a form that is not easily refundable once you figure out that it's a scam. So watch all of the red flags we've been talking about. If they pressure you to pay immediately, that pressure is in itself is a red flag.
Yeah, absolutely, boy. And you do have. I don't know. I guess maybe these folks are legit, but I think all of us in Worcester have any number of people who show up and they just have that lanyard and they just have, something that they have some kind of a card or something that they put in plastic, and they're always going to get us some kind of a better deal, and they always want us to switch companies, or they always want to do, something. And, you just have folks who are showing up knocking on your door. And in some ways, Nancy, I think that we get numb to it, and that can let us have our guard down sometimes too.
Yes, you mentioned these scammers that promise you discounts, and everybody wants to save money. But some of these, they're not on the up and up. They promise you discounts, but they get your personal information and then possibly some account details, and so they switch you onto another utility without you even knowing, without your consent. And this is a fairly common practice. It has its own name. It's called slamming. So, the bottom line is call customer service from the utility company, look that number up independently from whoever is either on the phone or in person telling you that they're from the utility company, and double check this. And don't ever allow anyone into your home unless you have a scheduled appointment or you've reported a problem, because they don't just show up. That's just not how it's done.
Absolutely. Nancy, I just want to reiterate to people, because this one is so very important, because this really is people showing up at your door and knocking on your door, and heaven forbid you give entry to somebody and it ends up being the worst possible scenario, and it's more than even just lost money. So this one that you have brought us today, and that Worcester Police are are talking to us about. Yeah, this is one that we've really got to sit up and take notice. And again, I'm always saying this, but the level of detail that some of these scammers are able to get, where they've got, uniforms or official-looking documents or all the things that they do that go along with the scam is just amazing to me.
It is. As I said, they're chameleons, and they're able to turn themselves into whatever it is that you need to see in order to go along with their story. So be very careful. And as you said, this could have gone horribly wrong if someone interrupted them while they were stealing the valuables. I don't know what would have happened. So it's very, that one is particularly dangerous and one to watch out for.
Boy, it really is. All right, Nancy, thank you for keeping us safe and calling our attention to this particular scam. Nancy Cahalen is the president and CEO, Better Business Bureau, serving Central and Western Massachusetts and Northeastern Connecticut. Best way for people to get in touch with you, keep up with scams like this?
Well, online, we're at bbb.org, and if you'd like to call and talk to a real-life person, you can do that Monday through Friday from 9 to 4, and our main line is 508-755-3340.
Perfect. Nancy Cahalen, thank you. We'll talk next week.
My pleasure.